Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Clicker here, and it is back to that season again. The new expansion has been announced. Dragonflight is coming, which also means it is time for new guilds. Is it time to create your own guild? Alright, I already have a video on how to start a guild. The very first video on this channel. Feel free to hit that up if you haven't already, or need some other quick tips. We're going to get straight into this process, which is guild management. What do we do now that the guild is created? Now, I'm assuming that you've already decided what kind of guild that you want. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go straight into, down the bottom right, you'll find your guild. Now, you should already have, through the tab vendor in the design, you'll click guild communications, or you can hit J. You go up here to roster and down to guild settings. Alright, so under guild ranks, as you can see, they'll start you out, I believe, with 7. But you can have up to 10 ranks, which is only 9 other ranks than the guild master. It's just that simple to get rid of. Now, first thing is first, what kind of guild are you? Are you a raiding guild, a casual guild, a PvP guild, and somewhat of a mixture of it? Now, when I say raiding guild, you can also be casual raiding, casual PvP. You can be mythic dungeons. You can be any of these sorts of guilds. I'm just keeping it kind of general. So like in my case, name of the guild is Dungeoning for a Date. So this right here is more of a playoff of an anime, and I decided that's the way I wanted to roll with that. So my ranks reflected adventurer style ranks off of that style. So copper rank, silver rank, platinum. Now I kept it a real short amount. You'll see why here in a minute. Of course, your officer. Then I had my wife's rank and my rank. Now that's just the ranks. After you create your ranks, they need permission. Which one of these is your officer? Alright, you can click that, and it automatically gives access to these. You can, of course, turn some things on and off here as well. The guild bank repair, how much they can repair or withdraw if you're going to allow guildies to take out gold. And you'll go through every single one of these and set all of this up. This is one of the reasons I say start small in your ranks. This is a lot of work, especially if it's your first guild. Keep it simple. Now, when you think you're done with that, bank tab permission time. So under this one is exactly what it is, your bank tabs. You have your tabs, which you can rename. Generally, if you're a raiding guild, I'd have raiding consumables, match tab, just random things like that. But you can say if they can view it, if they can deposit, and how much they can withdraw for the day. Alright, so we have figured out how to get everything set up by ways of your members. Now, something else to think about is, in your rank, how many officers do you want? What is your end goal? What do you want to do? Because whatever it is you want to do is what your guild recruitment needs to convey. Because you need to have fun. You're the leader of this guild, and you're going to run into little bits political issues. That's what I'm calling them. They're guild issues, and you'll run into them. Nowadays, it's a lot more rare. But if you have to do with raiding or any type of loot distribution, those could be issues. So if you're in classic, you can understand that a little bit more. And with the rumors that master loot come back at some point, you need to be more prepared for that. Now, I've always ran my guild with myself, my wife, and then generally I won't have more than 3 officers. Now, I did have more than 3 officers at one point during Draenor, and that was because we had so many members that I needed a couple more people to help assist in helping people. I needed more faces on the billboards to keep people going and keep them motivated on and playing, while also making sure people knew real life still took precedence over the game. Alright, so now that we got that figured out, or you have a really good idea of maybe what you're looking at, what your limit will be, now it's time to talk about recruitment. Now, first step, make sure that we get what I call the idle recruitment down. Hit list, what you're focusing on. Now, I always focus on raid, so I'll make sure I let them know raid. What are we looking for? So if you're looking for a tank or a healer or damage, and you get very specific with it. I've always had very small guilds, so I've had nothing to be specific about. Alright, you let them know, hey look, I'm looking to build a casual raiding group. Run mythic keys. Nothing fancy, not looking to be a mythic raid group. Here's my raid times. Make sure I let them know what my expectations are of when I would like for them to be there, so that way they would go ahead and know that if they're looking to raid, we raid. But if our times don't match, then there's no reason for us to really waste time with one another, because I don't want to waste their time, but I also don't want to waste my time, because I'm also trying to be on here and have fun while also managing this. You can, of course, if you want to do max level only, I don't think anybody does that anymore. Maybe a minimum level, kind of see that, keep some of the newer players, if you don't want to take the time to teach them, that could be a way to do that. Of course, you'd hit accept. That would post it for 30 days. After 30 days, it stops showing, I believe. And but as long as you come in every so often, you hit that, make sure that's clicked, hit accept, it'll re-up that. Next one, go to your macro. Start you a recruit macro. Now, this right here is the one you use if you want to use something like trade chat. I generally don't ever use general chat, and I never use any other channels. I'll use the guild recruitment channel, which generally, if you're a newer guild, especially casual, looking for levelers, those people generally don't know that channel even exists, so I just forego it and do the trade chat. Now, if you get backlash from it, go ahead and cut that, do your idle, and then go to the next style of recruitment, which I generally do all three, and that is wisping. You'll hit O, you're going to hit who, and then let's say, like I'm looking to raid, so I'm going to hit 60. It'll bring up only level 60s. Now, obviously, the chat only shows me 50. We'll go down to guild, click guild again, and now I have 5 level 60s ungilded that I can wisp. Now, obviously, if you're fresh starting, you'd wisp all 5 of these. Now, take the time to look at the name, get an idea, because you don't want to re-wisp them here in 5 minutes. Another way to recruit from your server, or servers, whichever one you're linked with, is put out a looking for group. We're about to run a daily normal dungeon, a daily heroic dungeon. Hey, we're looking to do a mythic +2, +4, and try to fill in from the server. Let's get your actual name out more. Now, the wisping works out pretty well. 90% of the people that you wisp will not even respond. Then of the 10% that do respond, half of those will tell you no, and another quarter of them will tell you they'll think about it, which is generally a no. Alright, so these are pretty much still the very much the basics of the initial running of a guild. One thing that a lot of guild leaders dislike the most is eventually you're going to run into politics within the guild, which is always irritating, because if you get 10 people together for a raid, you're not going to have 10 people with the exact same opinion. That's something you'll just have to get over, and you'll have to also kind of fight at the exact same time, and that's the stressful part about leading a guild. And a lot of the times, especially when you're a smaller guild, you'll get up to about 7 people, and then you'll hit a stagnant moment, and that stagnant moment could be a month, it could be a week. I can remember a point that I went 2 months, was on the verge of just being like, screw it, we'll find a guild to join, we'll all go in there, that way we can be one guild group, and then hit a breakthrough and end up getting another 5 or 6 members. And that's literally what it takes, is sometimes you have to realize that that 7 that you got, and if you're looking for the 8th, you're looking for that 9th, that 10th to be 100% guild runs and dungeons and whatnot, sometimes you're going to have to take another minute to truly achieve that. Now that you've taken that time to stick with it, last couple things. I'll try not to hold you too much longer. These are things that you want to do a couple times a week, and that is message of the day. Make sure you change that from every so often. When I do these, I also like to put in who posted it. This kind of lets people see different names on there. It also kind of gives you an idea of what officers are staying active and keeping the guild rolling when you're not there. Also, in guild information, this is a good spot to put your raid date. That's your casual raiding group. Now, this doesn't seem like it'd be that important because it's also in your other messages, but you also have to remember you have officers. Chances are they're recruiting a little bit differently than you. It's about, obviously, you're going to want your Discord information here. And having a Discord will probably be the #1 best thing to have for your guild. Free, pretty easy to set up. You don't have to worry about getting some type of premium service with it. Just the basic service is more than fine. Sorry it took so long. This is probably a little bit longer than my normal videos, but really wanted to get some of this information out there. But sometimes you just need a little bit more information and motivation to take that next step. Now, if this helped you along your way, helped you get started in your first guild, please let me know in the comments. Hit me with a like. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And make sure that we enjoy our time while we're playing, because it is a game. Let's make sure we have fun. Now, you guys take it easy.